by the kind of campaign that she does. Right now, we need in America an upbeat, optimistic campaign written like 1980. Jimmy Carter said that we have a malaise in America. We also have a malaise right now. And the American people are looking for someone who's optimistic and upbeat. Sarah Palin is demonstrating that on her bus tour. Now, that's the route she will have to go if she is to throw off those negative ratings.
And if you win the primary, you think you can win the general?
Yes, she will. And why do I say that? Again, because of what Americans need and want now. Let's back up to 1980. Jimmy Carter had a situation of a terrible economy and a terrible foreign policy. And a major foreign policy. Right? So what does Barack Obama have? He has the same thing. And Barack Obama is not giving to Americans the sense of optimism and hope in the future. So that's why I say we have a Jimmy Carter malaise in America. So by contrast, in a circumstance like this, Sarah Palin could win. Now, few people would predict such a win, and of course history is against any Republican winning, except under those two circumstances that were evident in 1980. So I would say watch out for her. She's going to have a lot of influence, and if she were to get the nomination, in the right circumstances, she could win.
I guess, Doctor, it seems to me that anybody on the left likes to attack by Palin. I've had my own beefs with her as a candidate, but, you know, they're all more fine-tuning than they are an outright rejection. One of the reasons I could stomach a vote for John McCain, which I wouldn't have been able to without her, was Sarah Palin. When he added her to the ticket, I thought they brought the whole package around far enough that I could actually vote for it. But
oh, yes. And I was somewhat in the same situation as you. What was the problem with Sarah Palin as a candidate? It wasn't Sarah Palin, it was the McCain campaign staff who put her in hiding. If they had let her go out and do on the hustings what she did in Minnesota at the convention, she would have turned this nation on to McCain and her. But for whatever reason, the McCain staff made one of the worst mistakes in presidential campaign history in wrapping her up and not letting her out and do what she does so well with the public.
And then it seems like they've been getting even with her ever since.
Yes. Always there's the sniping about Sarah Palin. But you know the old saying that comes from Cosgrove, the English writer, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And these people may be scorning her and saying negative things about her behind her back, but she continues to rise. And she has an intensely loyal following, and intensity of public opinion is quite important. So you take that intensity, that large and loyal following, which she is adding to on this bus tour that she's on. And this is a brilliant stroke of genius, this bus tour.
Yep, I couldn't agree with you more. Dr. Dunn, it's a pleasure as always. Thanks for your service to two American presidents, and thanks for coming on the show.
Always enjoy being with you.
Absolutely. Listen, Jim writes in by email, Lars, about those food stamp cards, you need to institute a spot checker or secret shopper policy on the checkers to verify that the picture on the backside. They don't check my ID after reading CID on the back of my credit card, does it now? In general, there needs to be more verification on all government programs now. You know, I would print the face of every food stamp recipient at the full size of the card all the way across the back of the card. Let's go to Stephen, who's calling in from Alabama. How you doing, Stephen?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good.
What's on your mind, sir?
Calling in about the pharmacist who shot the guy afterwards.
He shot the robber and then chased the other robber off and then came back and shot the first robber.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with shooting the robber and then taking the other guy off. But, you know, if you didn't get the job done right the first time, you can't go back and shoot the guy, you know, after the fact.
How much you think he's still a threat? And that would be the only specification. I know that legally that's the correct position, but I got to tell you something. If I were the pharmacist, and obviously you're more than this case, you say that I thought the man was going to jump up and shoot me again, or that he would shoot me from where he sat and where he lay, and I feared for my life. And that's the only legal way you can legally justify it. But you know, in a lot of ways, I think the world has got minus one more criminal. Good for the pharmacy.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Travis Culture always thought that you can't go back and shoot somebody after the fact, but I fear for my life is always the right answer. I guess we just need to know more about, you know, how much of a threat you guys still was, or was he just laying there on the ground bleeding? You know?
And I guess I wonder, how much can you say to a jury, this man stuck a gun in my face, I was scared to death, and it affected the way I was thinking?
Yeah, that's always possible. You just wonder how long it took to chase the guy off and then go back and get another gun to shoot him 5 more times.
I'll bet it wasn't long. It sounds like he chased the one guy out of the store and then turned right back around, got a second gun, came out and bang, bang, and killed the robber. Thanks for the call, by the way, Stephen. Bill's on the line. Hey, Bill, welcome to the Lars Larson Show. You wanted to comment on that, the stamp issue. What's on your mind?
Well, I kind of noticed that my wife and I, we were on the Wing House thing, and it helped us a lot with our younger sons, and we had a lot of allergies. Noticed that the food stamp office, they don't put out like little flyers saying what you can buy and what you can get. The rich people, they do that. You know, they tell you can have a certain amount of cereal or how many ounces of cereal. You know, they don't tell you that it's okay for you to go down and spend, you know, $200 on, you know, a steak, T-bone, lobster, and stuff like that, and then turn around and hold out cash for a cigarette and beer. But the wig doctors, they have a program to where they hand out a flyer stating what you're eligible to buy and what the government is willing to reimburse for that for. I think the food stamp people need to take note of that.
Well, are you saying that they're giving the food stamp recipients too much latitude? Because food stamp people walk into the store, they know they can't buy household items, which is kind of crazy in some ways. You can't buy toilet paper or soap. You can't buy, and toilet paper and soap seem like legitimate expenses, far more so than, you know, steak and lobster.
You know, basic meal necessities. I heard you say earlier, like someone going down and going to the store buying milk, eggs, butter, bread, you know, pancake mix, something's going to give a child and the family the nutritious stuff. But you turn around and see them and they're buying donuts. You know, they're buying Doritos. You know, they're buying a whole bunch of other junk food that's not going to give their kids or their family the nutrition. You know, and by the time they get home, that bag's halfway eaten. And by the time the end of the night, the bag is gone. See, they have to run down and they have to get more Doritos.
I would ban the purchase of all those so-called snack foods. I would say, because in theory, SNAP is supposed to be supplemental, meaning it's supplementing your food budget. A lot of people treat it as though it's their only food budget. So the idea that you're down buying things that are of very low nutritional value, and if people say, well, what business do you have telling somebody what they can buy and not buy? Hey, if you're using your own money, buy whatever you want. If you're using my tax dollars, I think we have a right to restrict what you buy to just the necessities of life. You're listening to the Lars Larson Show. Wake up with America's Morning News, 6 a.m. on KSMX.
Breaking news alert for women using the birth control drugs Yasmin, Yaz, and Ocella. Recent medical studies show an increased risk of blood clots and possible gallbladder problems. If you or a loved one has experienced any of the following: blood clot-related injuries, heart attack, stroke, deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, or gallbladder removal or surgery, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call now for a free case evaluation, 800-467-8751. If you or a loved one use the birth control drugs Yaz, Yasmin, or Ocella, time is limited to file a claim. Act now. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-467-8751. That's 800-467-8751. Protect your legal rights today. Call 800-467-8751. The attorney responsible for this advertisement is Carrie L. Steigerwalt, admitted in California, office address 4350 Executive Drive, Suite 150, San Diego, California, 92121.
going on, man?